I own so many pairs of overalls. Some are for summer, some are for winter, some are brand new, some I got secondhand, some I've had so long that I've literally broken them, and some are just my go-tos that I wear at least 2 times per week, year-round.
Is that going to stop me from making my own pair of overalls out of thrifted fabric? No. Even though I have a veritable cornucopia of overalls, there is one type that either I have a hard time finding or is just way too expensive for me, and that is the patterned overall slash floral overall. I found a few pairs, and every time I just can't even imagine paying that much money for a pair of overalls for me. I saw this fabric at the thrift store. It's apparently a Target sheet. It's the perfect little floral. The second I saw it, I knew I had to make it into overalls. If you saw my short from a few months ago, you'll probably recognize this. I am planning on making it into an Edwardian inspired pair of overalls. I love the shape of Edwardian overalls. Like, they're really unique, yet kind of flattering, yet loose. Like, it's everything that you want it to be, and I don't feel like a lot of modern overalls look like these. I'm of course modernizing it because I'm like putting a modern floral pattern with it, but we're going off of that as our inspiration point. And I will say, a couple of months ago, Morgan Donner actually did an amazing video where she drafted her own overalls, and I highly recommend it. But what I'm going to do is I forgot the pattern, hold on. Here it is. It's this one. It's this 1940s overall pattern. I feel like a lot of people who do like historical slash fantastical sewing usually have this pattern. And so I want to take it and change it from a 1940s pattern into an Edwardian pattern. And I think that will be relatively easy to do. A couple of things. I think I want to do the closure on the side a little differently. I might use hook and bars, and I'm thinking of using elastic around the waist in some sort of way. Buttons, as you know, and buttonholes are not my favorite. If I have to do them, I did find my buttonhole maker, but I'm going to try to avoid it if I can. Don't ask me why, they are relatively simple. I just don't like it. Yeah, all right. Let us get started on cutting out the pattern and making the changes. Cool. Okay, so I have made the changes I want to make to this pattern, but since it's not very visible, I'm gonna bring you a bit closer. So to this front piece right here, I've kind of added this shoulder bit, and then at the legs, I've just made some marks to make myself remember to make it a little wider and straighter. As far as the back piece, I don't know if I actually need this. I think the waistband might be enough, especially looking at my reference photos. I have it on here just in case. And then the straps at the back will be the same. The top part of the sheet that gets folded over, I kept that out. That is just gonna be my waistband. Super simple, don't have to think about that too much. So of all my research photos, this is going to be my main inspiration. I really like the neckline. A couple of the other photos that I see have those straps in the back still. So this all works out perfectly for this pattern. Didn't really need to make that many changes. I'm gonna start cutting all this out.
I then drafted a pocket that looked more similar to my reference photo using the original pattern as my base. And then it was time to start putting the pants together and finishing those seams with a simple zigzag stitch. I pinned the pockets in, lining up the outer edge with the side seam, and did a small top stitch to connect them. This was actually much easier for me than the side seam pockets. I might start adding pockets like this to more projects.
So everything is going quite swimmingly so far. The pants are done and I think they're really cute. The pockets turned out pretty good. The next step is to work on the top portion, and I did make a little bit of a mistake. It's a little too wide, so I think I'm going to just gather this middle section here. And then I bought some single fold bias tape, and I'm just, instead of having like a facing, I'm just gonna stitch this on there. I think that'll be a little simpler. It'll keep it a little bit easier and lighter, like not as many layers. And then I've also decided that for the waistband, what I think I want to do is everything is wide enough that I can just slip it over my hips. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to do a thick like 2-inch elastic for the waist and have the waistband that I already cut out all be elastic. I'm going to fake the buttons with the straps at the back, which some people hate. I don't mind it. I think it makes it easier to get it on and off, and it will just be, instead of having to do like buttonholes or hooks and bars, I think this is actually the easiest way to do it and still get the look that I want to get. So awesome. I think I figured this out.
Then it was time to work on the bodice. I started by sewing 2 gathering stitches along the neckline and ever so slightly gathered it at center front. I then opened up one side of the single fold bias tape and sewed that right side to right side on the bodice, flipped it to the inside, and hand stitched it with prick stitches so it wouldn't show. I then ever so elegantly stabbed myself in the finger. It wasn't that bad, but if you've ever made the mistake of getting blood on your current project that you've spent hours on, well then I know you've experienced the 5 stages of grief, so I put a band-aid on just in case. I think I mentioned this at some point, but my family and I recently set up a bird sanctuary in my parents' backyard, and I was so surprised by how beautiful and calming it is to watch birds and animals when humans aren't around. Every time I look out their back window, I just marvel at how I get to glimpse nature in the most undisturbed way I'm ever going to be able to. You can definitely fast forward if you want to, but this is some of the footage I've gathered over the past few months of the birds and the chipmunks. I hope you enjoy. I cannot wait to see what new creatures arrive in the fall, and I cannot wait to show you that footage when they do. Now, back to the overalls. It was then time to connect the top to the bottom. I noticed that my bodice pattern was sticking out in a weird way at the bust, and I'll show you a little later how I tried to fix that. Then I thought I had a genius idea on how to put the elastic in the waistband after having sewn it together. I was going to put one hole on the inside and then cover that with the French seam I had made, but I forgot something. Because there's a seam in there, I actually needed to make 2 holes. So I made a patch out of the scraps I had, and it ended up looking pretty okay. Then it was time to place the straps, and look, there's a little filming inception for you. I ended up making the straps a bit longer just in case, and I think I ended up needing that extra inch or 2 since I was only using the waistband instead of the back piece from the pattern. Finally, it was time to hem the pants and put an elastic to get that Edwardian look, and after putting the buttons on the back, it's time to show you how these overalls turned out.
Okay, when I was out there filming, am I straight across? I feel like I am. There's a little bit of humidity left in the air, as you can tell by the fact that my bangs came out, but I could feel this slight autumn breeze, and oh, it felt so good. Also, don't look at my eyeliner too closely. They're not even like sisters today. They're like third cousins. Yeah, that's the overalls. I really like them. As you can see, the way that I solved the kind of flipping out of the chest area was to add elastic. I think the better solution would have been to just add like 2 triangular sections at the side to get them to wrap around the body more. I don't even know why. Why didn't I do it? Anyway, I'm relatively very happy with this set. It is so comfortable. Can't wait to wear this in the fall. It's already kind of the start of fall, but like not really, but I'm already celebrating.
I would like to take a moment of appreciation for all of the gorgeous overalls, jumpsuits, and beach pajamas that I found during my research, so I'm just gonna show them here so that you can see them too. I want to make all of these. But anyway, back to filming me.
Next video is very exciting. It's one of the more, I don't want to say big projects, but like it's one of the more time-consuming things I've ever done, and I cannot wait to show you that. Yeah. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you back here very soon. Bye!